Let's not talk about politics. Never heard of it. Who's politics? Stop talking crazy. Just go blissfully back to warm summer night ticket server playthrough. Pizza rolls in hand. Let's play Pokemon DS Rainbow Road Wii Fit BMI Pink Guy compilation. TF2 CSGO Steam sale unboxing. Are the cookies ready yet? I could not talk about politics till the narwhal finally bacons at midnight. Till I sheepishly return all those aglets to the White House. Till before GTA 6 becomes obsolete phrase. Always not talking about politics screaming rabidly from the sidelines. Not talking about politics while politics endlessly talks about me. It's so easy to zone out and sit back and Stardew, StarCraft, Skydoes, Minecraft, Stupor, infinitely reading, watching, predicting the simulated in Minecraft future. While all of politics nebulously, blurrily swirls in the distance, I too am MCSR, MQ Emogi, endless content consumer. But I'm kind of frustrated by the way politics has become a hot button reason to ignore what everyone else is saying, no matter the content. I mean, why listen to any of them or something? They're just talking politics at you. So I could make a long-winded video satirizing people who say no politics for me despite seeing rows of journalists marching to death camps pleading for freedom. Biased, partisan, boring, death row slop churn behavior. But the message will be weird. Hey, people who consider yourselves apolitical or roughly apolitical, feel bad about how you think. Don't you see the hypocrisy every time you binge watch Overwatch gameplay? Instead, I have to meta describe the fundamental ever-present problem with politics, which is that most people don't really trust anyone who describes themselves as partisan, political, whatever. Most people are just fed up with secret semi-hidden narratives told through smiling, curated teeth. And the problem isn't how little trust people have in the slimy crypto ideologues eternally lying bluntly, directly, and ambiguously. It's how little regard anyone has for the horrible things currently happening, yes, said unqualified, due to implicit, uncomfortable association with scary concepts like slime, greed, discomfort. Rather than furious, most people are honestly just tired or bored of all the smooth-talking individuals saying, follow me, listen to me, I will give you that ideological religion you've always wanted. I promise my side is the right side of history. You won't flip-flop back. My perspective is correct, and you should honestly follow it exactly. It's a bored gray agnosticism manifesting as tired, reluctant, night-long, decades-long, apathetic, doomscroll, Kerbal Space Program hyperfixation, or in hitting not interested in all charity water mentions, or in softening belief that climate change is a thing. A tired, burnout flatness, torpedoing any movement before it begins because most of our lives are roughly acceptable, roughly reasonable, hospital bills only come for those who need them or something. I'm saying all this right now because it's kind of frustrating to be a person trying to have what feel like apolitical opinions about bad things happening in the world, getting called fake and gay and cringe and bi and political and political and political every time I have some sort of sincere, unironic thing I want to say about the stupid, boring, bureaucratic nothingness getting bigger and louder and more unignorable every minute, every second, every time I check latest artificial insemination DL incest trade. Just a pointless, cheerful barrier of communication. Were you or a loved one gonna stop watching this video at the first mention of politics? And it's a barrier that's kind of difficult to pass at this point because everything sincere and heartfelt and real and non-apathetic just endlessly identically feels like politics, politics, politics for basically no reason at all. Guess why bad thing or good thing in red state or blue state or purple state just happened? Probably narrativized, parroted, political reason, political reason, political reason. Most people just think they have it all beautifully, perfectly, unnuancedly figured out. See, the best place to live in the US is actually the surprising former sundown town, which is just as communally nice as it's politically supposed to be. And I can feel the way certain people watch Moist Critical's semi-recent video like they're begging him to waltz over to billionaire pseudo-alpha insecure so-called unbrainwashed side. And the gazillions of other people pseudo-righteously hoping their favorite anti-establishment commentator will finally expose all the other so-called evil anti-establishment commentators' dog collar purchases. And the couple hundred or more people watching this video right now, wondering why anyone should care about the idea that political, apolitical commentators are just biased political, apolitical commentators saying biased political, apolitical things. And I think back to the early 2000s. Not nostalgically or with rose-colored glasses not recognizing rose-colored flags, but with this kind of high-level recognition of how we used to think of people, places, companies, whatever. Like comparing the auras of eras or something. People just used to be more unapologetically eccentric and universally acknowledged, I'm pretty sure. Like picture the blank stare acceptance you might have back then for some random back alley dive bartender. The willingness you'd have to listen to someone's rants about cameras and Blue Jay eyes. Yes, taxi driver, I do understand why they should build another layer of road above the freeway highway. And people allowed each other to be weird and wrong and crazy and stupid and to hold ridiculous, dehumanizing, fundamental world order shifting opinions because those opinions in themselves didn't end up doing a lot back then. Or maybe it was just how harrowed everyone was by the wars and shortages and famines and whatever else had been going on for centuries. And as someone also somehow living in the non-terminally online 2025 or later world, I know too that it's not hard to find people like that who still exist outside of the introspective, apathetic, self-critical doom spiral vortex. But most people trapped in that self-critical doom spiral vortex can't bring themselves to find or respect those individual harrowed perspectives because they themselves don't have a strong personality foundation. Who am I? What am I? Why would I ever be interested in some random idiot's understanding of human nature? Snark culture starts to infiltrate the way we society see one another. And rather than respecting my Uber driver's unsolicited detailed description of nuanced belief in God, I scoff at all of it internally, thinking so crazy how he's ranting to me like this. And a lot of us have gotten like this because we don't have that strong sense of self, that strong belief belief system, that reason for seeking the pleasure we seek. Most of us just do the thing to do because it's the thing to do. Yeah, I gotta make money because I gotta eat, or because I gotta add more yaoi to the pile. Don't ask me why. Most of us can't fathom fighting for a higher purpose because it's so mind-numbingly, brain-meltingly hard to imagine anything more than infinite, sprawling, concrete, stoplight bureaucracy in all directions. And we keep seeing politics as this pathetic, overly sincere attempt to make sense of what doesn't make sense, pretending that stubbornly clinging to what doesn't make sense is any more rationally, intellectually fulfilling. And still others of us reject the concept of politics because it's too painful to consider how much is currently going wrong, how much is currently getting worse, to what extent things could go wrong in the future. We have vague, blurry hope that other people will figure it out, that some beautiful, extra-worldly force will turn the tide back toward indistinct goodness, reasonability, comfort, stability, but there's a simultaneous terror informing how a lot of us feel under the surface. Is it over for us? Am I doing too much? Am I not doing enough? And we keep answering those questions with more avoidance, more aversion to talking about so-called politics, seeing everything unconsensually becoming apparently political around us, but still burying our heads in the sand. Keep your head down, don't ask, don't tell, blend in with the crowd, be silent, submissive, unwavering, unquestioning. Don't talk about politics, because talking about politics is admitting that things do matter, that nothing ever happens was not as true and straight as it seemed, that we are shifting variable beings with shifting variable lives, and sometimes things change and what you lost won't come back no matter how many times you excellent, high quality wish it and hope it and dream it. That sometimes you're kind of irritatingly, uncomfortably great value responsible for fixing the world other people left you. And yeah, it's all of us. We are the destroyers or creators of the future. Literally 1984 living anti-librarily in a burning thesaurus, a society of Theseus or something. Endlessly searching for the apolitical answer to an uncomfortable problem inevitably labeled political. How do I describe a world I can't fix? How do I fix a world I can't describe? I think I've maybe figured out how to not talk about politics. Rather than focusing first on meta-theoretical resolving real-world political issues screaming at one another due to politics or something, try focusing first on describing those issues as if they're apolitical. Don't describe how one side is ruining everything. No, really. Notice in your mind which side is ruining everything and talk instead about what's being ruined. Hammer in the actuality, the reality, the brutality of what's literally happening right now. Oh look, disease research, public radio education defund, low-income tax corruption increase. Ignore the culprits. They'll reveal themselves pretty much instantly. Try not talking about politics by not talking about things as if they're politics. Those non-political things will probably feel a zillion times more real. And if all of us try not talking about politics, we won't be politics talkers anymore. Gone will be the labeled distinction between left and right, okay sure, but also gone will be the labeled distinction between political person and apolitical person. Not talking about politics by describing important things apolitically is the fastest way to break down what you thought were infinitely high, impassable conceptual barriers separating you from your implicitly evil other side neighbors, leaving shared, plain, potentially multilingual language in their place. Look at how they're ruining everything, you guys. They being the two powerful causers of ruination, not defined by their huge, widespread, well-established partisan labels, but defined by the ruination they cause. And the best way to not talk about politics has always been to not care about politics, to instead care about the people politics is supposed to affect. Ever noticed how all political problems go away when you talk to one person individually? Yeah, okay, we're kind of different, but sure, I guess I want you to live a dignified life. Said mutually over Baccarat espresso martinis. No one knows what that dignified life is supposed to look like, really, but everyone knows what it doesn't look like. Everyone knows how anti-American infringement of privacy, personal liberty looks on film. Everyone's also a critic. Try not talking about politics to notice which problems are problems no one actually deals with. Who's telling you about fake problems, and who's telling you about real ones? Whose dignified lives are currently being taken away? I hate talking about politics. No, seriously. Which is why I try not to say anything I wouldn't say if politics weren't a thing. If everything just happened apolitically. I think about all of this as me, having entered this universe, a sorta empathetic entity, trying to verbally make things better for all people because, I don't know, I prefer worlds where the majority of people are semi-happy. I never talk about politics because all I'm saying is the thing that has to be said. The final defect in a silicone barrier of communication. The thing an inherently apolitical entity encountering a world with politics has to say so politics stops getting in the way of shared reality. They can't let you trust your eyes and ears and common sense and reasoning, so maybe consider trusting that stuff. Your final connections to what's literally happening in front of you. And keep not talking about politics. Obviously, this isn't about me, but if you want an apolitical activity to partake in, give this video hype new YouTube feature and like and comment your favorite way to not talk about politics, and subscribe to my channel for semi-weekly/monthly word paint salad videos about philosophy or life or whatever else, who knows. Also join my Patreon if you want for behind the scenes stuff, extra content, and or general human interaction. I'm gonna set myself a bit more of a consistency goal on here, so ideally I will increase the frequency of videos as the cultural/mental need for said videos becomes more frequent or something. Either way, remember, you may just be a nuanced doomer believing in idealized absolutes. So basically, don't unilaterally think you have the answers to everything. Now go touch some grass or non-ball dry broken glass. Bye.